Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the March edition of the Town of Kent Zoning Board of Appeals. Before we begin, please rise and join me in pledging allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, first item up on the agenda this evening is that of Paul Harness, 193 Tibet Drive. Do you have any receipts for us, any mailing receipts?
I have different versions.
Great. And you can step up to the podium and sign in. Okay, so why don't you tell us why you're here this evening?
Looking to legalize an accessory apartment.
Okay. We've had an opportunity to review your application and the circumstances surrounding it. I really don't have any issues myself with this application. I'll open it up to the board, rest of the board.
No issues.
I have no comments.
All right, that being said, do I have a motion to approve?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there anyone here who would like to speak on behalf?
Next door neighbor, yeah.
Oh, come on up, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Thank you.
Please come up to the podium.
All right.
Should I stay up or?
Yeah, you can hang out there if you, in case she has any questions. You can-
Okay, do I have to sign this as well? or-
Yes, ma'am, please.
Oh, thank you.
Good looking out, thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Great, so position yourself in front of the microphone and the floor is yours.
Well, I'm Winnie Crutchmore, that's my husband Alfred Crutchmore. We live at 195 Tibet Drive, so we're next door neighbors. I don't have any issues with Paul, but the thing is, we very concerned as to whom he would be renting to. I mean, we have grandchildren. This came up several years ago when Bob Simonson owned the property, and he was turned down to convert that apartment legally. So, and some of our neighbors are actually away in Florida right now, so I don't think they're here. They can't be here tonight. I don't think that they would probably agree with that, but my concern is to who, if it was a mother and daughter apartment, then I would say, sure, I can understand that keeping the family, but to rent to someone, to a stranger, we don't know whom it's being rented to, and we have grandchildren and young children, we're just a little concerned about that.
Okay, all right. Mr. Harness, you care to comment? What are your exact intentions with the proposed apartment?
It is for a rental.
Okay. It's not going to be an Airbnb situation or anything like that, right?
Correct.
Okay.
We do have someone in mind. It's actually someone that we know for 3 years. It's the foreman that does our landscaping, that mows our yard. So he is someone that we know and trust.
Okay, great. This board, ma'am, just so you know, we have no authority over who he rents to and who he doesn't. We would just have to take him at his word.
But may I ask, why is it legal now and it's being approved now when years ago it wouldn't have been approved?
Bill?
I don't know why it was disapproved by the previous board. I have no idea. I've looked at the residence. One, it was built as a one-family dwelling. This gentleman here has changed the floor plans, so it is back to a one-family. It actually, at one point, had 3 families living in it. It had one upstairs, one on the main floor, and then one downstairs. That might have been very well why it was turned down before. The zoning board previously, and this one here also, if there were outstanding violations, they did not approve those type of uses. The gentleman has taken everything, he's done everything he can to legalize the space, removed all the illegal kitchens and everything else. It's back into a one-family dwelling where it's supposed to be. So now that's why he's applying for the accessory apartment.
Okay, can we have some kind of assurances that whoever you rent out to would be vetted properly? And, you know, I just don't want someone who hasn't been vetted living next door, because our property's pretty close.
Right. I mean, I agree with you. Like, I wouldn't want someone that wasn't vetted either. It's my house, right?
Right, yeah.
I'm concerned about who's living there as well, so I
Okay.
can appreciate your concern.
Yeah, because most of the time, you're not up here all the time. You're just here mostly on weekends for the most part, from what we could say. And I have no complaints with you. I mean, he's a good neighbor. That's not it.
Well,
I'm
the
just
building still has
concerned-
to be owner occupied, just so that you're aware.
Yeah,
He still has to live there.
yeah, we do.
Right. So
Uh,
it's in his best interest to make sure he has good tenants down below.
Yeah, again, it's more, from what we could see, it's more of a weekend house. So, I mean, he's put a lot of, you know, money into the property and everything. It's just a major concern, you know. Obviously, we don't want a sex offender or somebody living next door. I don't think that you would outright rent to someone like that, but I'm just saying, we just have to be careful with small children.
Sure.
That was just my concern. Otherwise, I really don't have an issue with that, as long as they're properly vetted. I think we're okay with that. Okay? Okay.
Yeah, and just to clarify, it's, Airbnbs are not allowed in the town, so it's not just a
Well,
question.
I'm not accusing or saying that it's an Airbnb. I'm not saying that at all. It's just, I want to know who's going to be living there
Right.
year-round, that close to our property. So, that's all. We have young children, and that's my major concern, our major concern. So, because it's not being listed as a mother and daughter. The house when it sold wasn't listed as a mother and daughter. It was, I think it was a summer apartment, as they phrased it when they were selling it.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Harness, as we have done in the past, we're just going to stipulate on this, and I'm going to make I'd like to know if I can get a motion to approve this application under the condition that this apartment be not utilized, even though they're not allowed as an Airbnb.
I can go ahead and make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you can follow up with the appropriate department.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda is, I believe Mr. Assad Mufti is not here, correct? He's a holdover until next month, because this is a 239 referral situation. The appropriate documentation has been sent to the county planning board, and once they deem the application complete, they have 30 days to get back to us. So we're going to hold this application over until the April meeting. Next item up on the agenda is Andrea Gutierrez, 21 Sedgwick Road. Good evening. Do you have any mailing receipts for us?
I have both, I have the green slips and the receipt from the post.
Great, thank you. Please sign in. Go ahead, tell us why you're here tonight.
Good evening. My name is Andrea Gutierrez, and we're requesting a variance for an above-ground pool we'd like to build on our property. It is located at the back of the house, near a structural shed. We are requesting a 4-foot variance from a property line, which is the back of the house, 3-foot 6-inch variance from the shed that's located to the right, and 2 feet 6-inch variance from the corner of the house, of the back of the house.
Okay, well, as you know, we've taken a visit out to the property,
Yes, sir.
and I'll open it up to any board member for commentary.
I have none.
Okay. There being none, do I have a motion to approve this application?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you can follow up with the appropriate department. You're all
Yes, sir.
set.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Tomorrow. The building department is now closed. We open up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Thank you.
And the last but not least, the great blue heron. Great blue heron. Great blue heron. Requesting a variance of 1-foot distance from property line for a covered roof over patio. Okay, we're gonna hold this over until next month, okay? Thank you. Okay, and I believe we have, that takes care of our agenda. I believe we have a set of minutes to approve for the month of February. I assume, we've all read the minutes and made any recommendations to Vera. With that in mind, do I have a motion to approve the minutes for February?
This is January, too.
I'm sorry, January and February. I'm sorry.
I'll go ahead and make that motion for January and February.
I do have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there anything else before the board? Anything else before the board? Anything else before the board? Great. We'll see you next month. Oh, do I have a motion to close? I'm sorry.
I'll go ahead and make that motion to close.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
See you next month.
Have a good evening.